everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into another edition of The Right Side of Campus. It's 1 o'clock on the East Coast. It is December 4th, 2019. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday wherever you are. Hopefully your holiday Thanksgiving stuff is past. You're past all the tryptophan and all the Thanksgiving stuff, and you're getting ready for Christmas because Christmas is only, 3 weeks away already. Crazy how quick time flies. But hope you're having a good day. I'm the big man. He's Donnie Rightside. And we're here. Donnie, how we doing today?
Good. No complaints. Another day, another dollar. Midweek, waiting for some action on Thursday to get everything fired up, and we'll get after it.
Yep, we'll get to a lot today. We got morning headlines to get to. Going to talk a lot of NFL today here in most of the show. You're going to get into some of where we are right now because we're getting closer and closer, Donnie, to really the real wishing hour, and that's getting into the playoffs and who's in, who's out, who are the best teams in the NFL right now, because it really is, Donnie. I know there's some teams that have kind of set themselves apart, the Ravens and maybe the Saints, but there's so many teams that I think are still kind of largely not talked about. Can a team make a run? Where are we sitting at future-wise? We got a little buy or sell. We'll also get into college hoops tonight, Texas Tech and DePaul. This should be a real good out-of-conference matchup between an undefeated. How about that, Donnie? If I told you, Donnie, that DePaul would be a Ken Pom favorite over Texas Tech, what the hell would you tell me? You tell me I'm nuts, right?
In the beginning of the season, yes, but we're going to go over the reasons why they should be, Jeff.
Yeah, DePaul's a really good basketball team. We'll get into them, and many of you know my love for Chris Beard, so we'll talk all about that. And, Donnie, we have a special birthday that I want to talk about that's important to me. Let's get into some morning headlines. Before we do that, I do want to make some quick little promotion here. Donnie, Ryan, D'Amico, and I did a Eagles podcast test last night. Donnie and I have always really wanted to do some sort of Eagles-centric show. I'm sure we'll open it up a little bit more to Philly sports in general, but this is a show where we kind of just are talking Eagles right now. What the hell is actually going on with this team? What this team can do going forward? What are our expectations of them going forward? And it's really just 3 looks and 3 different opinions on the Eagles. We also kind of went over the game itself and how does this team finish? Check that out on the channel. We enjoyed doing that, Donnie. It was kind of something where we could get away from sports betting for a little bit and just talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I like it, and it's going to be fun. We'll do that again on Tuesday after the Eagles' easy victory over the New York Giants, and we'll have fun the rest of the way. So we
can hope easy victory because we've thought there had been easy victories the last couple of weeks, and at least last week, and we didn't get one. So, all right, well, let's get into the show. If you want to participate, as always, you can chat with us on the chat box. Please hit the like button. Please support our sponsor, BetOnline, which I'll tell you about a little bit later. And make sure if you're on Twitter, the key to this show, guys, and growing the show and getting it to people is retweeting it, telling people about it. Hey, I love this show. Hey, it's really good. This show's better than ESPN. Or, hey, this show's better than Sirius or whatever. Share the show. Get it out to people. All right, let's get into it, Donnie. Morning headlines. We're going to first start with a story that I think's been so overblown and pathetic. I mean, are we really I didn't see this Houston-San Antonio game last night, Donnie. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the game, and I'm hearing late at night, I'm hearing all this crazy stuff about a basket that should have counted, and Houston lost because of it. Then I find out I watched the highlights. It happened with 8 minutes left in the game. Are we serious right now arguing that they may have won? There was 8 minutes to go in the game. What am I missing here? So because there's a close game, they should have won because of some random shot in the middle of the fourth quarter. What did I miss here, right side?
Yeah, it's like in the NFL game where I was yelling, some smaller plays that don't matter, missed holding call or, a free 2 yards on a play. I can't even believe this is coming up. Now, it's one thing, Jeff, this was the last second buzzer.
Exactly.
And the monitors went out and they had no way to review anything. And at 1 a.m., the monitors came back and they saw that the 3-pointer should have counted. And he said, all right, we got to go back and replay this or we're going to recorrect it. The fact that Houston was down 15 points at the time was inconsequential. Do we now say, Jeff, watch this. Second quarter, he got fouled. It wasn't called. I want this game replayed. And people are actually coming. Maybe it's just the NBA and the fans or it's astounding that this is actually a question mark that's on right now on ESPN.
But you know why it's a question mark? You know who was involved?
No.
James Harden. That's why. James Harden, all he does is fucking whine.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any call. Hey, shout out, by the way, to the fan last night. Did you hear that fan last night?
Unbelievable. So, like
Great
every
call.
single person who was watching that game or has ever watched James Harden probably wanted to say the exact same thing, and he got a nice quiet moment that James Harden actually heard. It was great.
I actually saw James Harden play live. It was agonizing. It really was. When I was in San Antonio, I saw them play the Spurs, and it was ugly, man. It's a brutal game to watch. Just constant whistles. I mean, Donnie, no NBA player should go to the line 15 times a game. I mean,
no, and the guy who actually, like, I give him credit because he's smart enough to do this. But the fact that it's just against the grain in the NBA completely ruins the game. He wonders why he dropped 60 points and nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And they lose.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I was really blown away. I was really watching. I'm like, well, that's the play? So something in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes to go. How about the fact that Lonnie Walker, shout out Reading, PA, just drop kicked you guys? How about that? And shout out to Lonnie. And shout out to Greg Popovich, who hasn't fucking played the kid. Big time coach Greg Popovich. Where the hell's he been?
This
guy was a spark.
Jack. Teaching him a lesson.
Yeah, right. This guy's been a spark. They've been calling for him to play down there, and I'm glad to see he finally did. He's a good player. Glad to see him getting his shine. Houston was leading by 15 at the time. So that makes it even worse.
No, it was the Spurs.
You blew a 15-point lead with 8 to go.
I thought the Spurs were up, no?
No.
Houston was actually up 15, so what are they even complaining about?
That's what I'm saying. The Spurs fall back. It's not like
there's no complaint either. I don't even care who was down 15 or not. It's ridiculous.
So are you trying to sell it? Oh, that was so deflating that we just weren't able to come back from it. That's what they'll try to sell Houston. It was a game-changing decision. Yeah. Well,
how about when they rescind technicals the next day? Don't you go back and you just take away the free throws and say we want to replay the game because it really wasn't a technical? Yep. I mean, come on, man. How about if you got a technical in the first quarter you shouldn't have gotten, you end up fouling out in the fourth quarter? Do you go replay it all since the first quarter?
Or how about like if a fan walks in the court in the middle of the game, do we just replay the whole game?
Yeah, exactly. How about yesterday on the James Harden dunk where you saw the guy with the little shimmy pad out there that had to get out of the way? How about if they just blew it dead right there and said, well, this play doesn't count?
He missed that layup. I was waiting for him to say that shouldn't have counted. That lady was in the way, even though she was way off the court in time. Yep. I was waiting for him to say something about
that. Actually, it's funny, Jeff, because when I first heard the hubbub, I wanted to watch it on ESPN or whatever was running the highlight. I actually thought that was the highlight, saying like there's a guy on the floor and they blew the play dead, so he couldn't dunk the basketball.
No, you were blown away, right? That it was actually that call.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a missed call. Yeah, it's a missed call, 2 points. And of course, the game comes down. So the average fan will be like, you see those 2 points? Like the whole game wouldn't have changed because of the 2 points, man. Come on. And then you saw the FanDuel saying anybody who had the money line bet on the Houston, we refunded it. And then I go back and check, like somebody laid 325 on an extreme public road favorite.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, those are obviously. I don't ever have a problem with if they want to
My point was you should actually double their losses because they actually took a minus 325 like that.
Yeah, with the Rockets who don't play defense. You should actually have to pay us for the bet as well.
No, you should have to go to FanDuel, write a letter, and say I completely erred in my judgment by taking a minus 325. I'm like, okay, you can bet again.
James Stacy's here. He doesn't bet much anymore, but he's here to listen to Fresh Takes. Thanks, man. Appreciate your continued support. Kirk Esparza, Nuke Worker, Hal Abrams, Jukes. All you guys in here, thank you for watching. And to all the people that don't comment and watch after the fact, thank you. All right. A couple other stories here, Donnie. We talked quickly about this. Ron Rivera, though, it's been a day. Ron Rivera has been fired by the Carolina Panthers, the first. Did we talk about this yesterday? This may have happened after.
No, this was after. This was later. Mm-hmm.
So Ron Rivera out at Carolina. We actually, we did talk about this, and we said we think he should be fired.
Yes, before the actual final thing. Yeah.
I think it was time. I like Ron Rivera. I think he'll go and be a coach somewhere else. I think I'll tell you what, he'd be a hell of a coordinator for a really good football team. Eagles. But I think this was needed. I think you just need to kind of inject some new blood down there, Donnie. Look, they missed out, I think, on Sean McDermott. He probably should have been the coach going forward. He ended up going somewhere else. But I guess the question is now, where do you go from here? And the quintessential, like, oh, what we're going to go do is go get Matt Rule or Lincoln Riley. I don't know if those guys are going to be what they do. I would imagine, Donnie, that they're going to go towards some kind of coordinator, maybe a Stefanski, a Jamal, or a Eric
Did you see the
Bieniemy,
latest report that Colin Cowherd has?
Kellen Moore, maybe.
Nope.
No, I did not know.
Yep, it has to do with the most delusional fan base in history losing their coach, Jeff.
John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Michigan fans would be quite delighted about that. Hey, listen, didn't he coach him at Stanford? Was that no? That was way after.
Coach who at Stanford?
That was
way
after.
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah.
I think he'd go after a coordinator, like a younger coordinator, like a Bieniemy type, or how about Kellen Moore, Donnie, as a head coach?
Yeah, he needs more seasoning, man. He needs a lot more than for me.
Where do you think they go? Do we go towards a head coach? Do we go towards a retread? Do we go towards an offensive coordinator? Or do we go college?
It's really interesting because I don't really know all that because obviously he's a brand new owner, so he wants to put a stamp on the franchise. I would have to assume he's got big money, just paid $2 billion for that team, Jeff. It's got to be a splash hire. This can't be like we're going to hire Eric Bieniemy or a Kellen Moore. I think this is a major splash hire.
Someone in the organization down in Carolina says that they want an NFL coach or coordinator, not a college coach. So yeah, that would
a big guy, a big name guy. Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're going after a college coach, you're just a horrific franchise. You're just looking for big spark, like a Arizona Cardinals.
And you could probably get him on the cheap.
Yes, sure. I feel like if you're Carolina, who's kind of an established team with some big names and a pretty good defense, I don't think Carolina is that far off, Donnie, as they say.
No, nobody. Look, they have a lot of talent, and it's very rare in an NFL that you're really far off unless you're trying to be far off. I was actually taken aback a little bit by this guy's owner's speech saying, like, we're not going to be really good right away. Boy, that's not really what you say. Usually the guy fires at Ron Rivera and says, look, this is mediocrity. We strive to be the best. We're going to make sure we're the best. This guy was actually really playing it up, saying we're about to turn into the Miami Dolphins for 2 or 3 years, which is actually wild.
Yeah, kind of odd for sure. What about Greg Roman, Donnie? Would you consider him?
I'll consider anything at this point. I mean, he's done wonders up there in Baltimore. If you're Greg Roman right now, right, and I guess people aspire always to be head coaches, you're sitting in the most dominant position you can be in. The Baltimore Ravens are going to give you a raise if you want to stay. You're in an unbelievable franchise. You have your quarterback that you're working wonders with. Sometimes making all that money really isn't worth it to go to a shit football team and get buried after 2 years, do you know?
No, I agree with you. It's not always greener on the other side, as they say.
No.
By the way, do you know where Greg Roman's from, Donnie?
No, I do not.
I was surprised to read this.
Where he grew up?
Greg Roman grew up in Ventnor City, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
He graduated from Holy Spirit in Absecon.
Oh, okay.
So he's a Jersey guy. I never knew that about him.
I'm going to do some background. He must have played football there, too. I'm going to do some background on that guy.
By the way, Donnie, I've come to the real realization of where my life is heading. You know what it is?
What is it?
You know where I see myself in 10, 15 years? Honestly?
Doing what?
Living down the shore, always. I don't think if I move there, I don't think I'll ever leave.
Yeah.
Like I love being alone. And in winter, it's just totally alone. It's so serene. Oh. Maybe get myself a little boat, kind of have that as a kind of a fun thing,
Yeah, me and the wife went down for a pizza now about probably like 3 weeks ago, Jeff. And you go on the boardwalk on Friday night at 7:30. There wasn't a soul out there. And it's such a cool feeling.
It's so serene, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I've
because the ocean's still there. It's still rumbling. You just don't have any. It's cool, and you just don't have any people.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. I think the ocean is the most magnificent sight I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen anything more. You know when I realized that, Donnie, when I stayed at Ocean Resort and I had that room right on the ocean.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was really fascinating. Yep. Like what an amazing, beautiful thing. I'm not a big fan of getting in it, but
it's terrible.
It is such a wistful, serene experience. Where'd you go to get pizza down there?
My wife loves Mango.
Oh God, dude, It's so bad. I got to talk with Linda when I see her. That is ugly. I mean, Mango, Donnie, is horrific.
Oh no, I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
You're a good pizza guy, now. You should know better.
No, but look, dude, this is pizza heaven in this area, and that place makes more money than any place in the history of the world, man.
Yeah, it's a great.
It can't be bad. You know what I mean?
No, it's a great business.
It isn't my first choice, no, but I can eat the pizza. But to be honest, it's only good if you eat it there. This isn't one thing where you can leave it out and a couple hours later you go grab a slice. That's not that type of pizza.
I remember one of the most horrific nights of my life, Donnie. I was pretty young. I was probably 22, 23. I remember I did one of those, I'm going to stay at my parents' shore house and bring a girl over kind of things.
Yep.
And we made the mistake of, it was when I drank a lot, and we ordered mac and mango.
Yeah.
I still remember that night. It went right through me.
Oh,
I remember
man.
I was up all night. And seriously, I always remember that night. It was one of the more horrific nights of my life. I couldn't, and I've always remembered that with mac and mango, and I never ate it again. Can I swim? Yeah, I could swim quite well, actually. We had a pool when I was a kid. But when I kind of hit that like 18, 19-year-old age, I don't know. I don't like my head underwater. It's just not something I'm into. It bothers me. It scares me kind of. So yeah, I'm just not a fan personally. All right, let's move on here. I don't know how we got to that conversation, but we did. More on this Josh Shaw story, Donnie. There was some
what else is coming out about this guy?
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff that came out about it. We weren't aware that he actually bet on the Cardinals. Did you hear about what he bet? The parlay?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, basically he was doing it. He did a second half parlay of 3 Week 10 games, kind of obscure. He basically bet. Now, Donnie, I actually remember this game because I had a small part on the Cardinals in this game.
Yep.
It was against Tampa. Remember where Tampa couldn't figure it out? Arizona at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They're just like running around. They're not creating offense.
Yep.
He had that game. So he bet on his own team, surprisingly enough. But he also came out, Donnie, that they ask what your occupation is on the player card.
I did see
resume.
that. Yeah.
And he put professional football player.
Yeah. On the card, which again, he's probably not applying for credit. This is just something to put in as like
player's card.
What do you do for a living? Oh, I don't know. I'm a business guy. So he actually puts his job in.
I'm sure they looked at it and they were like, this got to be a joke. This can't be true. And then you look at him, it's like, well, he's pretty big. And
how did they find him out? Did they actually turn him in? Like, how did this all get found out?
I believe the casino.
Really?
And I have to look at that. According to the gaming industry sources, Caesars contacted the Nevada Gaming Control Board on November 10th, and subsequently the NFL shortly after, discovering Shaw had placed his wager. What a narc. Who was the narc that did that? Nevada gaming relations require sportsbook to take reasonable steps to avoid accepting or paying any wagers made on behalf of an official, owner, or coach. Now, Donnie, I got to ask this guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If this was just done for fun, which I think he claims it has, he wasn't doing this regularly. Yeah. Why not just get your friend to put this ticket in?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Like you can't be that dumb. Creating a player's card.
Like here, Jimmy, go over to the casino. I'm going to give you $2,000. Open up an account under your name and just give me the password. Is it that hard?
Yeah, I don't know why.
My God, like anybody can do that. How many times you call somebody, hey, put this bet in for me? Oh, it's not your account. No, it's your account. Let me just take control of it. What an idiot. Man.
Or just,
dumber than you think.
I'm only doing this once. Did you just put this in for me? But betting second halves is fascinating because it's like that's kind of I'm not saying it's an advanced way to wager, but you do have to like know a lot about the game and what's been going on and kind of situational things.
Now that's odd too. Like he's waiting, like because you don't have a ton of games which are all at the half at the same time. Like it's only a 12-minute halftime in the NFL. It's kind of crazy that he got down on 3 games at halftime.
Or though, is this one of those things where hey, we sat and watched the games as fans and we're like, we just want to put something in and we can bet a second halves because everything started. I'm
going to assume it was that. Yeah. Let me just get some action down on this.
Who parlays second half wagers?
That's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, parlaying second half wagers, play the month teasers. I mean, it's wild out there on the streets.
Yeah, parlaying in general is lame. We got to get to this guy and chat with him about this.
We do. Yes, we do.
Maybe he'll turn into a tout. It wouldn't surprise me.
Look, there's a network out there that would probably like his insights, right?
It's second half specialist, as they say. Call. All right. One other story now. I want to bring this up just because I found it funny. You remember in The Wire when in season 4 when Herc, the bald guy, he's like the mayor's security, and he walks in on the mayor getting a blow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
This story kind of reminded me of that. But did you hear about this police chief in Chicago?
Where he was asleep at the wheel drunk, right?
Yeah, but did you hear the backstory as to why he was drunk? It's come out that basically he was having an affair with his security detail partner. Oh. So one of the cops that was protecting him was a woman, a younger woman, I think in her 20s. Yeah. And they were hooking up. Oh. And I guess it's funny because the Chicago Tribune did a piece on the bar that they were at,
Mm-hmm.
and supposedly the bar is it's known throughout the city as a stiff drink bar.
Yeah,
So
like
like,
you're not getting cheated. This isn't like,
no,
like you have the little filter on. You only get 2 ounces.
yeah, and it's one of those hotels, Donnie, that is in like the bottom of a hotel.
Yeah.
So like, but he did kind of the Jimmy McNulty thing where he like, remember when McNulty was like fucking that girl in the parking lot, and he just like waved the badge and they just like kept going.
Yeah.
He kind of did that whole thing where it was like, oh, well, there's Chief Johnson drunk again.
Yep.
But I guess he was having an affair with the woman, and he is married. He's got a kid, and he's been relieved of his duties, Donnie. So he was doing a whole escapade. I guess he's had a tough marriage.
Yeah, I mean, people do crazy things, certainly, but one would think that the mayor probably had like 16 PIs on this guy after that whole Jussie Smollett thing, which he was furious that they didn't press charges. You knew right from there, like if you're going to go out on a stand where the mayor, the DA, everybody's trying to quiet this down, and you're calling your own press conferences, you better be as clean as a whistle because you're going to be out, and that's what happened.
Now, let me ask you: if you're the city of Chicago, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The mayor, Lori Lightfoot, actually said that he had just a couple drinks during a dinner with friends.
Yes.
So that was the original suspicion. But Donnie, an investigation by Inspector General Joe Ferguson revealed that the former top cop spent the hours before he was found drinking at a cafe with a woman who had promoted as a security detail. Sources say the pair was seen kissing on security footage. Now, Donnie, why are we expending keep in mind, Chicago is one of the more dangerous cities in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, it might be the most dangerous city in America. Why are we putting resources into figuring out if the chief, just get rid of him? What are we wasting, dollars on this? They, according to reports, Donnie, did a multi-cop investigation on a cover-up that took place the night and the following days to protect Johnson and conceal the circumstances surrounding his drinking and driving habits.
Yeah,
Johnson.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Johnson initially blamed a change in his blood pressure medication and his failure to fill the replacement prescription for falling asleep. But Lightfoot accused him of concocting a false narrative to conceal the embarrassing circumstances around the incident rather than lying to her when he questioned her during the events. Listen, I have kind of a little bit of a high blood pressure. I take meds for it. It doesn't make me fall asleep in my fucking car ever. This is wild, dude.
Yeah, no, he gave him an out, and can you be smarter, Jeff? You're 3 weeks away from, getting your full pension, and you end up getting canned, and now your full pension is now in some sort of like, juggling up in the air. You got to be kidding. Some people just don't think about that stuff.
They're not going to take his pension away.
He was 3 weeks. He was 3 weeks away from retiring full pension. Now they'll probably go after it just to make a point to him.
But when you're you retire at the level you were at, they can't take that away. You'd have to do something like. You'd have to like kill somebody for it to be.
But what happens if you don't reach like your 30th year? Like that's
that's obviously obviously he's not going to get the highest, which definitely sucks. Yeah. But they're not going to like bust him down like a police officer's.
No. But he'll lose something out of it. And they just wanted to make a point to that guy. But yeah, you got to be smarter than that. But it goes on every day, man. People that are in the law that think they are above the law, they can do whatever they want, and they get lazy because you're probably going on for a long time. Like, dude, nobody's caught me in 10 years. Not going to catch me now. Boom, gotcha.
The thing is, though, I mean, you don't think this is grounds to, like, remove his pension? I mean, he still worked.
No, I mean, first of all, I don't think they got along because of that whole Jussie Smollett thing. Usually, you know what happens, Jeff? Same thing in Philadelphia.
The mayor she was behind him. She lied for him, basically.
Oh, well, why doesn't she go then?
Not sure. I guess she wasn't involved necessarily. She just kind of said, maybe she wasn't aware of what went on. She's, he was probably out with a couple of friends, what he does. But no, the Inspector General of Illinois conducted some sort of investigation into this. Yeah. This is a problem in Chicago, Donnie. Cover-ups are clear. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in that fucking town.
And to bring up your point, like why are they worrying about this? It just seems like to me in Chicago, like wherever the Badlands are in the South Side, Chicago has so much money in it, and it's almost like they just leave that one section out and just be like, if you guys are going to just kill in this area, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll turn our head. That's a really way, because when you think about Chicago, it's always explained as a world-class city. It's wonderful, the Magnificent Mile, whatever they have, and the Bears and the Cubs, and it's all good. But there is a devastatingly crazy part of Chicago that they just leave alone and say, hey, if you go ahead and kill everybody you want here.
Welcome to inner city America, Don. I mean, West Baltimore, North Philadelphia, they're all the same. Cops just kind of say, you know what, you can sell drugs here, just don't go anywhere else. Yeah, it's a shame, but this is just more of a funny story, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, come on, man. This guy's got to be smarter than that, man. Come on.
Jesus Christ, Capper John, settle down, dude.
Look, he is Chicago. He knows
blowing
about
this thing
Chicago.
up.
Yes, he knows.
Like, relax, dude.
That's our informant.
Yeah, but he's not right with his comments. He's saying that it was independent investigators. No, it was the Attorney General, Inspector General. Settle down, John.
He's in security out there. He knows.
I love John. He doesn't contribute at all to this chat except on Chicago stuff.
Yes.
Never have seen him.
Well, you got to ask him about the weather at Soldier Field. He'll give it to you, man.
It's like, Jesus, this guy loves Chicago. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, John's in here. He loves Chicago.
Yeah.
I actually met John at Vegas.
Yes, we did. Sure. Yes, he is.
He was sitting next to me and Gabe Morency.
Yeah.
That was kind of a serene afternoon, Donnie. I remember you went up to your room and we were just all tired. You're just sitting in the sports book watching preseason NFL games, just hanging there. As me, even Gabe. I've never seen Gabe that relaxed. Donnie.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of proud of Gabe. I never saw Gabe not doing something.
Yeah.
But he's just sitting there, hanging out.
Yep.
We're all sitting there watching the games. It was fun. Memories, as they say, are made.
Yes, true.
All right, let's get into some NFL stuff here, Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you real quick,
go.
off the bounce. Is there a team you've been disappointed in? Who's the biggest disappointment for you this year? Is it the Eagles?
I mean, obviously the Eagles are going to be way up there. Disappointed in.
But I guess I'm more or less not as a fan, just as like – who's a team that you like? Are you really disappointed in the Eagles, or are you just as like a fan disappointed?
No, I'm more of a fan. I'm more of a fan that disappointed in the Eagles. I would have to say probably one of those teams, like I guess it would be the Chargers in a way. Disappointed in like the Rams, like from a betting perspective, like what they should have been and what they turned out to be. Teams like that. I actually thought Detroit. It's a hard Detroit because before the season we were doing previews, and I thought Detroit would like hit their team total, which I think was only like 7 or 7.5 at the time. But obviously with Stafford being out, there's no real.
But you remember at one point, which Detroit, they were playing every good team tough. They were. Yeah. I remember making a comment that I thought they should be buyers at the deadline. Yeah. They were that good. They're playing at a high level. The defense is starting to figure it out. But then Stafford goes out. They get rid of Diggs, and it just kind of went up from there. I don't know if there's been a lot of disappointing teams. I definitely think the Chargers are always in there, but then again, they're pretty inept in general, aren't they?
Always, man. Yeah, no, there's not a lot of teams that I didn't think Denver would be good. Oakland showing their true colors now. Buffalo, we probably thought would be good. Baltimore was good. I didn't have expectations like the Redskins or teams like that. So it's hard to say disappointed in, but probably more than likely the Eagles. Probably
the Eagles. I agree with you. I think it's got to be them towards the top. I mean, I think a lot of people, even nationally, I saw a lot of people picking Sports Illustrated picked them to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, if Sports Illustrated picks you to win the Super Bowl, you aren't winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're not winning the Super Bowl. They pick like the Chargers and Eagles like the last like 10 years, and it never comes in. Yep. Donnie, who's the best team in the NFL? I don't want 10 answers. Just give me one. Who is
the best team in the NFL? San Francisco 49ers.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think they're better than the Ravens? You think they're better than the Ravens?
I think on a neutral field, which would be the Super Bowl in perfect conditions, I think San Francisco is better. But if we would have had like a Super Bowl where it would be played in New York, like outdoors, I'm
going to say something to you right now.
Go.
It's crazy, but it's off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think San Francisco loses in their first playoff game. I'll tell you why.
They might not, because they might not even have home field in any round.
And I'll tell you why also.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready. Like, look at that offense, Donnie. They've overachieved all year. Like, everything about them is overachieved. I don't trust Garoppolo. I love the Niners. I picked them to win this division, but they just come across. They don't come across. I'm not picking them over the Saints. It's not happening. I don't think they can go to there and win.
I think the Saints get beat this weekend by the Niners.
Well, hey, listen. Luckily, we don't have to really worry because they're all getting into playoffs. Wow, you really though, you think they're better?
I
Than the
do.
Ravens?
When they're healthy on a fast turf or a regular surface without like windy conditions or anything, I think they're better overall. I do.
Yeah, I don't think they're like even the best team in the NFC.
No.
We're right there, but outside of Donnie, the Niners and Saints, who's the biggest threat? Seattle?
Guys, at 100% because
Who else?
second half, what it was second half, Russell Wilson.
What about
Dallas
the
Cowboys on a
Vikings?
threat? Yes.
If Cousins plays well and it's not Monday night, I think they have a chance.
Yeah, but if you can't even say if Cousins plays well. If Cousins has a full blast offense, he should be fine.
Yeah, right.
How good is Dalvin Cook? I mean, Dalvin Cook takes a handoff and explodes after 2 steps. Like, man, they're good. They're good. They are good.
I think they have real issues defensively, and their pass team.
Who's now? Good. Look in this because I have a lot of some good stuff to ask you on buy or sell in a second, but. Paper Tigers to me seem like the Green Bay Packers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the Green Bay Packers.
Neither
Shouldn't I be? No?
Neither am I.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. I don't trust their offense. I don't think
they can stick. They don't have like that versatility. Like I don't think like the Packers can get into like a real physical battle and beat you. Do you know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. Yeah. I think they're kind of paper tigery defensively too. Remember how they get a ton of sacks and everything and I don't know. I was kind of open eyes with them when they played the Eagles. I didn't think they played well at all in that game. I was pretty surprised by how bad they were. No Thielen. Yeah, Thielen's going to be back. What are we talking about? No Thielen. He'll be back.
They don't need him this week either. They'll probably just sit him out.
Now, Donnie, in the AFC, I got a team for you.
Go.
Buffalo.
And I'm going to tell you, Jeff, Buffalo this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. Donnie, right now, I can get Buffalo at 50 to 1 to win the Super Bowl. I mean, Josh Allen's a good quarterback. I'm telling you, Cole Beasley is one of the best acquisitions of the offseason. And that defense, you can make the case, Donnie. They're the best defense in the NFL.
You can make a case right now. Oh, how about that? I don't even have this on buy or sell, and I want to ask you.
Who's better defensively than Buffalo? Answer the question.
The Niners are better. Patriots are better, but they're up
there. Right there.
Steelers Buffalo are better. But no, you're right. If you're a top 10 defense, you can stand up to teams, right? And that's what they have. Now, Jeff, they're 9-3. The Patriots are 10-2. Kansas City goes in, knocks off. Next thing you know, Buffalo gets back. Because let's keep in mind, Buffalo still has another game with New England. Can Buffalo get in and take a bye?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see it because I like to root for teams like that. I would love to see it.
I'm saying it now, and I keep saying it. There's something wrong in New England. They've not beaten anyone we're talking about.
No.
Seriously. Tom Brady does not look like the same quarterback.
And if there's one team, like obviously the Ravens are that team, but if there's another team out there it's 25 degrees, it's raining sideways in Foxborough, what team is built for that?
Buffalo.
The Bills.
Buffalo! Fucking A!
Yeah, Jeff, look at Mike V. Beasley isn't even their best acquisition, Jeff. You love Beasley.
Well, I don't care what Mike V says. I think he is. He's a fucking great receiver. He just allows Allen to do so much, and Allen loves those type of receivers.
Dave, it's a fun week. It's like heading down the stretch. There's a lot of good stuff there. So I hear you on that. And again, Buffalo, maybe not for the Super Bowl, Jeff, but Buffalo for this weekend.
Hey, listen, 50 to 1 is a good damn price. It really is. At Vikings 30 to 1, is that enough? I feel like
that's a good price. That's a good price though, because these teams. There's a lot. Like you don't have that huge disparity anymore in all these teams that are going to get in. Because we'll go over who's in and who's out. It's a lot of teams with a lot of good shots to win this year. It's fun. It's going to be a good playoff run.
Yeah, it's such a true statement. Ravens 2.4 to 1.
They're going to be hard to beat because they are to me
can't stop their quarterback.
The Ravens are going to get that top seed. And going down to Baltimore to beat them, that's going to be tough to do, man.
What about Houston? They don't do anything for you, right?
No, but they're a shock and all type team. Like they could come out of nowhere. They have so much talent on that team. Like Deshaun Watson plays out of his mind. It's not like he has to carry his offense. They are really good, man. Really good.
Now, Donnie, is there a team? If you're looking at a team at 100 to 1 or higher, a lot of these teams I'm not gonna pick, but. Pittsburgh 100 to 1. Does it kind of seem like they're, and again, guys, a lot of people are very like simple when it comes to these. Like you'll see people who don't fucking talk about Buffalo. Just ham here. It's value. It's the opportunity to
sure, we could talk
ticket.
about the Ravens and the Niners.
Yeah.
But you're talking about who has a legitimate shot if they get hot with a monster ticket.
And you're talking about someone in me that I'll make investments in 100 to 1s, 250 to 1s.
Because it's not even about winning it. It's about flipping it. It's about hedging. It's about getting money in your pocket.
And I'm going to tell you why I love this Steeler team. I've tell you twice, same time every week. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And their trench battles, they win every week. Who's better defensive line and offensive line than them combined? There's not a lot of teams that can match what they do. It seems like they're developing kind of a special season. It sucks that they're going with Devlin Hodges, but I feel like he's starting. If they could just open up the fucking playbook, if Kevin Fichtner would stop acting like this is junior high football, let him fucking play.
Like maybe don't open up the playbook against like the New England Patriots, but last week, like me, because Jeff, we both had interest in Pittsburgh. And we're going back at like they can't do anything. And all of a sudden they let them drop back and take a 7-step drop and launch it deep. And out of nowhere, they go from 0 to 20 points.
No, exactly. That was the thing. I'm watching the game kind of off and on, and I'm saying, let this guy play. And they did it with Rudolph at times, Donnie. Remember the game against the Rams? He was making plays.
Throw it deep. When you throw it deep, good things happen, man. Good things happen.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing about the Steelers I don't like, it's Kevin Fichtner. I'm not a fan of his. He needs to let his quarterbacks take the fucking training wheels off.
Their defense is good, man. If you have a defense in the playoffs, and you're going to get Connor back, you're going to get Juju Smith-Schuster back, you're going to get some reps. And again, we're talking about a long shot. Pittsburgh has no. Well, of course, they're 6 right now. Do you know what I mean? But yes, they got a huge payday.
100 to 1 is a great price. I mean, it really is. That is really good, especially with how the seasons went for them. Donnie, Eagles 60 to 1. That's too low. I need 100 to 1 at least.
But the only reason why they're 60 to 1 is because they have a path to a home playoff game. That's why they're so low.
Sure, but it's again, they need to win 8 games to get to the Super. There's a lot of landmines there. But again, they do have a quarterback that's competent.
Yes.
They do have a offense that, and we talked about this on our show last night. Make sure you go check that out on the channel. We talked about, all of us agreed that the Eagles are not far away at all offensively. They are about a receiver away from being really good. Am I right, Donnie?
Yeah, no, it's about offense. It's the offense. The league is about offense, and if you have a quarterback that you can move forward with, you can win games in the NFL.
If the Eagles go out and get a Judy type or some kind of high level receiver, they will be right back next year. Obviously, they have things to do on defense, but the offense is not far off. So Donnie, you would agree Steelers worth the look at 100 to 1.
Yeah, and I have a couple questions on this too.
Let's get to buy or sell. What do you have?
Let's go buy or sell. We got a couple in the NFL and I got one for college football. All right, Monday Night Football is pertaining, Jeff. We did a telecast, as I like to say, last night with the Philadelphia Eagles. Had fun. We went for over an hour. Could have went for 4 hours yesterday just talking Eagles. Now, interesting news that comes up. Daniel Jones, high ankle sprain, looks like he's not going to play Monday night. So Eli Manning gets thrust in. I have a 2-part question for you here. Number one is this has to do with Monday Night Football, buy or sell. Eli Manning will throw more interceptions than touchdown passes on Monday night.
Well, he does get some weapons back. I know Ingram's back and a couple others. You do obviously, I think the question is, the playbook's obviously going to be, I think, kind of thin. I don't know if you're going to do too much to expend him. He doesn't play well in Philadelphia. That's
he's 10-22 versus the Eagles' career, his worst of any team.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, it's a push. I think he has
1-1.
Yeah, I think because I don't think this Eagles defensive back, they're so inept at covering receivers. I don't think.
Now, second here, Jeff, the whole key is here, which I think the Giants really did Eli Manning a favor, obviously paying him a ton of money this year, sat him down when it looked like the season was going to be lost and said, you know what, we're going to do it now because you're 116 and 116 in your career. And I don't think Eli's a Hall of Fame quarterback regardless. But moving forward now, they're a bad football team. If he starts the rest of the year, which could happen if Daniel Jones' high ankle sprain is bad, you're not going to run your rookie out there for the rest of the season. He finishes under 500. Does that just completely shut the door on him even being thought of as a Hall of Fame quarterback?
No, I don't think it has any bearing. Eli Manning there's no middle ground with him. It's not, I don't know, he's either is or isn't to you. Do the Super Bowls, is that enough for what he's done and his. I mean, he's had a long career. I personally think he has. I think he's done enough. I mean, 2 Super Bowls is obviously great, and some of the things he's done. But then I hear your case where it's like, you know what? He did win 2 Super Bowls, but he's been the most inconsistent quarterback in the history of the league. I get that. No, I don't think 3 or 4 games is gonna.
Oxbar says, "What happens if Eli throws 5 touchdowns on Sunday?" Well, good, because they play Monday, so it doesn't really matter, does it, Ox?
Good.
All right, yep. Number 2, Jeff. Here, ready? Now this ties into the AFC right now. As we're looking at the top, Ravens 10-2. Patriots,
hey, Donnie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, back to your question. Yeah. I actually would have an interesting answer if you were to say how many sacks do the Eagles have?
Yeah, now that's a good one. Yeah,
that could be high, 3 or 4 maybe. But go ahead.
All right, here we go. Taking a look at this, you had the Ravens at 10-2, the New England Patriots at 10-2. But obviously, Ravens beat the Patriots, so they're sitting in the 1 seed. Buy or sell, Jeff? The New England Patriots get a bye in the playoffs.
Sell. I just don't trust them. I don't, and I know it's crazy. This year, I don't see the same team. Yeah. I think their defense is a complete fraud. I don't want to hear anyone say that they have the best defense in the league. They played fucking nobodies, and the 2 teams that haven't a good defense or an offense that they played, luckily they lucked out again against the Cowboys because it's raining like a fucking hurricane.
They would have got beaten.
If that was on a clear day, they're going to score points in that game.
Yes.
I mean, Houston made them look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
The game was only close because of the end, or they just kind of
2 late touchdown drives that went like 80 yards apiece. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm selling it. I think
I would love to see it. By the way, just as a fan of the NFL, Jeff, getting the Patriots to – because, look, if the Patriots go on the road and have to win like 3 games on the road, I'll be like, you know what? They deserve to be in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It's time where they don't appear in the Super Bowl and we can relax. I got to tell you, like if the Patriots end up getting the 2nd seed and beat the New England – somehow beat the Baltimore Ravens, the Super Bowl, I'm going to be like, God, this is so whack, man. Just give me something clear because even last year they won it. If the Rams had ended up playing like the Chiefs, it would have been so much more fun to watch that game, man.
No, the thing is, like, this is why what we do is interesting because how many people will take this clip when it happens? Like, oh, big man, see, hate on the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Listen, we're doing it right now. We're talking right now.
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots are that good a football team. I just don't.
And it's pretty apparent because the way I keep looking at them is on Sunday when they played Sunday Night Football. I'm like, this is the healthiest, Jeff, that the Patriots will be on offense. And outside of the last quarter where they were dinking dunking and out of the football game, they look like they couldn't play. So the end salvation for the Patriots is what? Well, if we get into the playoffs and it's 20 mile an hour winds with 20 degrees and rain, yeah, they can play a football game because Brady can win in that. But if you're talking about going to play the Baltimore Ravens in 45-degree weather and no wind on like the AFC Championship game, they ain't winning that game. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say something right now that really could be brutal saying, but I'm saying it. I think there are 10 quarterbacks in the league I'd take over Brady.
Right now. Let me preface this by saying as well, Tom Brady's the single best football player I've ever seen in my entire life. But right you are now, correct right now. Yes, right now. He's old. Like, he can't get out of the way anymore.
He's like Allen Iverson late in his career. He just doesn't have it anymore. Like, or any late. Like, it's time to go, Tom. Like, just retire already. You're the best.
Ever.
Like no one will ever say he's not. Mm-hmm. Like I agree with that. But it's like, eventually you've got a record. And look, all these like New England stands, like, oh, well, we're going out and get Gordon, he'll come back, and Rob's going to come out of retirement. That ain't going to happen.
I love that one. Like Gronkowski lost like 50 pounds in his party, and like there's still some, and they still, Jeff, there were outlets that still reported like he's got like 10 days left. He's got 2 days left if he wants to come back. I'm like, are you kidding me?
He ain't even ready to play.
Why would he ever play? Dude's making just as much money off the field and doing whatever he wants. And he's going to come back and take a couple shots to the head. Jeez.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback right now, Donnie? Let me just throw one out to you.
No, let's go down like the playoff teams on the list. Baltimore, who would you rather have, Lamar Miller right now or Tom Brady?
Not even close.
All right. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson.
Not even close.
Patrick Mahomes.
Not even close.
Now, here's one that gets a little bit tougher. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. Actually, if Josh Allen, I would rather have him right now than Tom Brady
as well. Oh, yeah.
Now, Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously, we can't do that. How about
I don't know.
You would not rather have Duck Hodges. Stop it, man. Come on.
I'm kidding.
You draw the lines.
I'm kidding.
Tennessee, Tannehill is playing at an MVP level the past
I wouldn't want.
You don't want Tannehill the way he's playing? Come on.
I'll take Fitzpatrick.
Oh my God, come on, man. Or how about Minshew?
He's been good, dude.
Would you take Minshew?
No.
And that's only a handful, Jeff. You're talking about, I'd still take Drew Brees. I would take Russell Wilson.
Phillip Rivers.
I would take Aaron Rodgers. I would take Dak Prescott. Yeah, you know what? You're right about this.
Carson Wentz.
You're right about. I would take Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I'm not taking him over Rivers or like Denver's.
No, because he's shot too.
What about Carr?
I got to tell you, I would. And it's how crazy is that? I'm talking about putting Carr on the – we're not talking about putting Brady on like Houston Texans with those weapons. I'm just talking about for what the Patriots actually have. If you're giving me a good arm with mobility, I'm probably taking him over Tom Brady.
What about Daniel Jones?
No, get the hell out of here with that guy.
No?
And I wouldn't take Fitzpatrick. I would take Matt Ryan. Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to have to take Matt Ryan's arm. Something's up with it.
Yeah, I'm not trolling at all. I would take Fitzpatrick.
No, you're right. I think this statement is you would take 10 quarterbacks over Tom Brady right now, and I actually agree with it. I do.
What about Fitzpatrick?
I don't agree with Fitzpatrick.
Why? He's how much more does this guy need to do? I know he turns it over occasionally.
There's a reason why he's been on like 37 teams, man.
He's not respected. What about Winston?
For the team that they have now, yes, I actually take Jameis Winston.
What about Trubisky?
No, I don't take Trubisky over anybody.
All right, this is a good one. Cousins.
Right now, yes, I do.
Wow.
Yes.
We got to get that on video. Donnie writes it would take
if they play a game this weekend, I would rather have Kirk Cousins as my quarterback.
No, hey, listen,
he's got a live arm. He's rolling around. He's playing well. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, Tom Brady is the single best quarterback the best football player to ever play in the NFL. But when you watch him play now, he doesn't have all those weapons for that team. He can't get out of the way. They can't just bail him out with throwing dump passes to 19 running backs like they did in the past.
I mean, Donnie, you can make the case there are 15 quarterbacks better than Tom Brady in the league.
Right now, yes.
I'll name them all right now. Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson.
Yep, that's 2.
Josh Allen.
That's 3.
Matt Ryan.
4.
Deshaun Watson.
5.
Matthew Stafford.
6.
Kirk Cousins.
7.
Who else? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Aaron Rodgers. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, Carson Wentz. Aaron Rodgers.
We're already at 10, and that's already at 10.
Okay, I'll do 15.
Go.
Who else do we have? Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz.
Yep. You said it already.
Did I say Carson already?
That's what I'm saying. Just go down the playoff list. The Ravens quarterback, take them. Yes. The Texans quarterback, take them. The Chiefs quarterback, that's 3. The Bills, 4. The Titans, 5. The Raiders, 6. And that's only in that side of the division. So we got 6 right there. We won't even go to the bottom feeders. New Orleans, that's 7. Seattle, 8. Goff? Green Bay, 9. Dallas, 10. Minnesota, 11. Like, you're already up there. No, I'm not taking Goff. No, he would get crushed.
What about Mayfield?
No, he would make too many turnovers.
Kyler Murray.
Give me Kyler Murray. Yes.
Sam Darnold.
Maybe not.
I agree. Yeah, listen, people are saying Stafford. I think Stafford's a top 5 quarterback in the league, personally. Just me. Stafford's a good quarterback, dude. Real good.
Stafford would be great on that team. Tom Brady, for what he does now at his age, without the weapons they provide him, there's 15 quarterbacks that would do a better job on the New England Patriots than him right now.
Donnie, you're getting crap fizz. I actually agree with you on Cousins. I would take him over Brady.
In their offense, absolutely. You would.
How many people are going to say, look at these dickheads? They're actually going to say they take Cousins over Brady ever? How many people will spin this thing?
No. Well, I mean, you can always make the cut that says, wait, Donnie just said he's the best football player to ever lace him up. And he is.
It's this year, dickheads.
Right now. And it's right now on that team. And again, we're not saying I would put Tom Brady on Minnesota because he would ball out. Anybody would ball out. We're talking about putting a quarterback on New England Patriots the way they're constructed now and which quarterbacks you would take. This isn't taking Tom Brady and putting him on a Pro Bowl team and say, hey, what if Tom Brady had the wide receivers in Houston? He doesn't. We're talking about that quarterback playing for that team. That's
all you need to know about Tom Brady, and I'll urge you to go do it. Watch the game against the Eagles. Like, he was terrible. And Rashawn Brown, we don't really care what you think about this subject because you're a New England fan. So, of course, you would blow to him if you could. So we're okay with that. Yeah. Half these names are better.
You have to understand the question. The question is, New England, would they be better with a different quarterback and get better quarterback play on their team? Not anybody else, on their team. And there's 15 quarterbacks that would do a better job than Tom Brady right now on New England.
Agreed. He's a middle-of-the-road quarterback right now. That's what he is. And until you people, you fans up there who are you're such delusional people up there that, and you should be. You've won a lot of titles, but you've got to understand that eventually you're just going to be like all the rest of us. You're not going to win Super Bowls every year. It's going to end soon, and reckoning day's coming. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Who else do we got?
All right, here we go. Number three. This has to do with Ron Rivera as a head football coach, Jeff. Not to say where we want him to be or what he's going to do. Will he be a head coach in 2020 game 1 next year?
Yes.
Now, where do you think he would actually land? I think he'd be perfect in Chicago. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't agree with defensive guys being your head coach overall, but I think he would work wonders in Chicago. I think he could clean out everything they got, even trade for Cam Newton, and they would make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. What about Atlanta? Defensive guy. He likes defensive guys.
No, but I'm not looking for a rebuild for Ron Rivera. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to go. Ron Rivera needs to be at a decent team. Like,
they're not a rebuild, Donnie.
Yeah, but Matt Ryan's only got a year or two left.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, put Ron Rivera on a team with a really good defense.
What about Cleveland?
Perfect. You know what? That's great because he would come in there. He's not taking any shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good spot. James Miller said it too. That is a good spot, Cleveland.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Game number 4 here, Jeff. Now, we got the AFC is what we're looking at right now. Buy or sell the 6th, and I'm going to explain it. The 6th playoff spot in the AFC goes to the Steelers. Now, keep in mind, the Steelers are in the 6th spot right now, 7-5. Nobody's probably going to move up above that. So the 6th spot's going to be in play. The Tennessee Titans are 7-5, but also keep in mind the Steelers have the tiebreaker if they finish tied over the Titans. Raiders at 6-6, the Colts at 6-6. So do you think the Steelers will be a playoff team is basically what this is, buy or sell?
Oh, yeah. Right. They have to be. And they're going to do it with fucking Delvin Hodge. Hey, by the way, Donnie, I meant to tell you. So you know his nickname's Duck.
Yes, correct. You got mad at me for that, yes.
Do you know where that's from?
No, does he hunt duck? I don't even know.
Yeah, he's actually big in that community.
Oh.
My brother actually was telling me that. My brother is in that business. He sold calls to Carson Wentz and a lot of hunters and stuff. Yep. He was telling me that the kid is really known in that community, that duck hunting community. And that's why they call him that. He's like really well known. Like even since being a kid, it's kind of interesting. Hal Abrams is asking about UVA Purdue. Listen, Hal, you can subscribe to my website, bmocwins.com.
You'll break it down.
Well, that's actually going to be on my card tonight.
Oh.
So, you're welcome to chime in and get to play. Listen, guys, I'm not doing a ton of free college stuff anymore. I work really hard on the sport. I can't just sit here and do it all for free. Feel free to jump on the website and get on board. I hate to be like that, but I've given out a lot of free info over the years. I mean, I'd arguably one of the best runs in the history of sports betting in college basketball 2 years ago. I gave every play for free. I've done shows for the last 2 years every day. It's time for me to take a little step back and do what I do. So I hate to be like that, but you're welcome.
You look at RB Fern. Again, he has no idea. Like the problem I have is people don't understand the actual question. So Wentz, with no one on the roster, and the NFC's lost the Eagles 5-7 and just lost the Dolphins. If you put Wentz on New England, they will win the Super Bowl. How do you like that comment?
I mean, you can't be that dumb, Red B. I mean, seriously. I mean, you really are. You just don't like Carson Wentz. I mean, that's how. Carson Wentz is not the fucking problem. He's the only good part of the team, dude. He's throwing the fucking ShopRite cashiers and fucking mechanics, dude. What do you not get about that? He didn't lose to the Dolphins, dickhead. They scored 30-plus points. The fucking defense didn't get a goddamn stop. What fucking game were you watching? I want to fucking know, RB Fern. What game were you watching? Cut it
like how would you switched it, Jeff? How about you took the Patriots defense away from the Patriots and gave them the Dolphins defense? How good's Tom Brady look this year?
Man. I mean, there's a lot of issues with this team, and there's no one that's going to kivvy them more than me. They are fundamentally flawed. They're poorly coached. They have a bad defense. But they do not have a Carson Wentz problem. Give me a fucking break. And I'm going to tell you right now, Carson's not played well in certain games. He didn't play well in Seattle. But look who he was throwing to. His best receiver was Mac Hollins and Greg Ward? Give me a fucking break. Cut it out, Red Bee Fern. You're looking real dumb right now with these stupid comments about Carson Wentz. Give me a break. Give Carson Wentz one good receiver, and they'd have 2 or 3 more wins. Come on, man. Yeah, like he lost the Atlanta game too, right? Fucking Nelson Aguilar has a sure touchdown. The guy drops it. Nope. You realize these guys are some
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, laser beam down to the goal line. He catches it. Eagles beat the Detroit Tigers.
Do you realize these are some of the worst receivers this team's ever had? And they've had a lot of bad ones. You don't like Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. I just told you he's the greatest quarterback ever.
Yeah.
But you are delusional if you don't think he's playing at the same level he was before. He doesn't look like the same quarterback. Get your head out of your fucking ass as a fan and get real. Yeah. I'm so fucking sick of these fans. We get it. You're a fan, but you're fucking delusional. It's simple. No one's going to tell you this because everyone in the media kisses his fucking ass. He's a great player. He's a great guy, and he's done so much for the fucking league. But he's not as good as he was.
No.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. I think it's pretty simple, Jeff. Final buy or sell question, college football. If Utah and Oklahoma lose, Jeff, is Baylor in over a 2-loss UGA football team, Georgia? How about this scenario?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Because Baylor is that outlier still. I don't think people even know who Baylor is, and if they have 1 loss or 9 losses or what's going on. Like Baylor had 0 hype. They didn't play a great schedule, but they're here with 1 loss. And if they upset Oklahoma, they have 1 loss. So Oregon's not going to jump them, right? Being a 2-loss, even though if they win the Pac-12 champion. The only thing is that whole stalwart in the SEC is like, look, Georgia played so many tough teams. They lost by 1 to LSU. They're going to get in. Nobody really wants to see Baylor in, but that's not really the question. The question is, do they deserve to be in?
I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
I don't think you can put a team that lost to South Carolina in the play. I just don't. But again, and then you lose you have another opportunity, you lose. I don't know. I think with the SEC, they're going to get obviously the benefit of the doubt. I mean,
it's like an SEC loss is like to the voters, it's like a half of a loss where everybody else gets a full loss. So if you lose 2, it's really only 1. You know what I mean? They play those games. But I got to tell you, if you're a Power 5 conference and you only lost to the season, you should have actually won the game, but it was still a good competition game against Oklahoma. And then you rebound, and let's just say they bust Oklahoma in the mouth, Jeff, by 14. You can't leave Baylor out. You can't.
No, and you look at Baylor. I mean, the schedule's pretty good. I mean, that conference is better than people think. I mean, you have a lot of big wins. It's just a shame they lost that game to Oklahoma the first time.
Yeah, it's intrigue, but it's an interesting thought because this scenario is not that far-fetched. Like Oregon can beat Utah, you know what I mean? And Baylor can beat OU. So
that's what's going to make it so intriguing. Yeah. Donnie, I actually wanted to say this. It's the last week of college football as far as the big week.
Yes.
I was going to go to Temple, Missouri on Saturday, but then I saw Missouri lost last night to Charleston Southern, and it's like, you know what? I'm not going to it. I'll just go to St. Joe's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I want to watch these games. It's like it's going to be a fun weekend with all these situations. So great questions, Donnie.
There you go, man.
All right. Before we get to college hoops tonight, we got a game to talk about.
Yes.
We want to tell you guys about Bet Online. Go check out Bet Online. We talk about it every day. If you want a good sports book, you want a service that's going to give you the lines as early as possible, Bet Online has you covered. In a couple of hours, they're already having games out for tomorrow. I mean, that's how quick they are. They're truly, Donnie, the only place in the business that put lines out this early.
Yep.
It's kind of impressive. In fact, they're the originator and benchmark, I think, for a lot of Las Vegas places. Some of these places ain't making their own numbers. They're taking them off Bet Online.
Mm-hmm.
You can bet with Bitcoin. You can withdraw quickly. You get paid fast. They've got great customer service. And I'm not just saying this stuff. I don't – we enjoy Bet Online. They're partnered with us here to give some promotion, but I wouldn't promote a company that I don't buy into, Donnie. I just wouldn't. And I buy into Bet Online. I know you use it. I used it
for a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So make sure you go check it out. Bet Online. I have a promo code down in the description. You can just click the link and get signed up. So Bet Online, Donnie, what do they have? DePaul. And
Yeah, let's take a look. Texas Tech and DePaul tonight, looking at the majority of outlets, pretty much mirroring each other, but BetOnline specifically -2. Texas Tech is a favorite playing versus DePaul. Over under in this game, the total sitting at 137 across the board. Now, taking a look at this game, because most people, Jeff, would say, wait a second, Texas Tech, you see the runs they had the past couple of years? They're only laying 2. DePaul is terrible. But when you look at Texas Tech on the season, Jeff, lumped up on 5 straight cupcakes. Got a big injury, and all of a sudden you're losing to Iowa and you're losing to Creighton. Now, on the flip side, DePaul, you would think, is actually the roster for the season that Texas Tech would have. Beating the cupcakes, but beating Iowa, but beating Boston College, beating Minnesota, coming in undefeated in this basketball game, and playing at home tonight, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is and again, I want to make this clear. DePaul is a Ken Palm favorite in this game. Ken Palm thinks that they will beat Texas Tech. Donnie, I had DePaul against Minnesota. It was too close for comfort, though. DePaul's continued issue, Donnie, is free throws, which I think against a team like Texas Tech, this could really come back to haunt them. First things first, they need to sell out Wintrust Arena tonight. This is the biggest game they've had in 10 years. Okay, that's a fertile basketball area. That needs to be sold out tonight. They have to have a big platform there tonight. But Jamias Ramsey, Donnie, is so important to Texas Tech. And the problem with his injury is it's a hamstring strain. So he may or may – like Chris Beard, I don't think is just trying to leave him flat. I just don't think he knows. He could play. He might not play. I don't really think there's a lot of info on it. Chris Beard will try to sell you that they were in those games, and they were. But Texas Tech did not play well defensively in those 2 games that they've lost. It's not going to get any easier tonight. Romeo Weems, Paul Reed, Charlie Moore's playing at a high level. This is a really good DePaul team. But I'll tell you, Donnie, if I look at this game, I'm looking more towards the total here. Both these teams play really good pace. I mean, they're both going quick. They're both top 100 in average possession length. They're a little slower on defense, but one thing Texas Tech does, they try to speed you up, try to get you going a little bit. Both these teams have been really solid offensively. I think at 130, you said 137.5?
Yep.
I think that's a little too low here.
Actually, 137 even.
Yeah, I think that's a little too low. I would have put it more towards 140-ish. I think this is like a 72-68 type of game, personally. I think Texas Tech's really good, but I think just right now without Ramsey, I think they're going to be kind of hamstrung. They should have some advantage down low because outside of Paul Reed, DePaul doesn't have a player over 6'8". So, Holyfield and Clark should have big games. But I'm willing to think this is kind of a too low of a number. I think this can get to 140 personally. If I had to pick a winner, if DePaul shot better from the line, I'd take them to win this game. And without Ramsey, I think he's the difference in this game. If he plays, I think Texas Tech will win. If he doesn't play, I think DePaul will win.
I'm gonna go money line. I'm gonna go money line right now. BetOnline +116. I think DePaul's gonna win this game outright. Some of the things that I really like to look at too is when you take a look at like effective field goal percentage, you're converting the 2s and 3s combined. Top 40 on offense, but Jeff, looking on defense, 15th in the country at defending the 3 going up against the 2. Now you look at Texas Tech; they have really good numbers offensively, like a really balanced team. But I think what DePaul does and couple that with the injury and playing at home. I just think I'm looking at the game overall. I'm saying they are live to win this outright, and I'll take the +116 on DePaul.
I think they're definitely live. I'm telling you right now, I think Ramsey is the difference. If he can play, I think he gives them. They need him. They do to score, and they need him. They need his energy, and Beard will tell you that. But I also will say that the problem with DePaul, also Donnie, right now is they're kind of thin. I mean, Devin Gage is out right now. He's a really good bench piece for them and really helps out their starting lineup when he can play. I think that kind of sways it a little. If he played, I would really like DePaul. I think he's important, but yeah, it's a close toss up. I don't hate your pick at all. You're getting some value here at home with a team that's been able to take care of every. They went on the road and won at BC. They've beaten Minnesota on the road. They've went and played good games. I just hope that DePaul gets the crowd they deserve tonight because I've been carrying their water. I think they should be a ranked team.
And you play into it a lot because, I mean, emotion is one thing. Like, I'm going to joke on it in just a second here. But when you look at this game overall, which team is going to say, you know what, I'm really up for this game because I want respect? It's going to be DePaul. Like, Texas Tech's been there, done that. Maybe they come in, their best player. Hey, you know what, hamstring, you'll be on a pitch count out there, so to speak. Or maybe we don't play you, but we got some bigger fish to fry. DePaul is going to be up for this game at home and ready to rock. And I think they're the better basketball team tonight in this spot. And that's why I like them.
And I think one other thing that does concern me with DePaul also is, again, you're leaving points at the free throw line. And I think one knock DePaul has is they're not a real good rebounding team. That could be a real issue tonight against Texas Tech. Texas Tech is really solid on the glass, but it's going to be a great game, a real good game. BC isn't good, though. There's Rashawn Brown trying to be smarter than everyone again. Again, though, it is a road game against an ACC team. I don't know what's so difficult to understand, Rashawn. And as usual, you kind of get put in a bag with your comments. At the end of the day, they're an ACC team on the road, okay? It's pretty simple.
Jeff, I had people DMing me last night with write-ups from other handicappers that said, if you think Michigan State is going to lose this game with Draymond Green in the house, how about that? Think that's a good angle last night?
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was an impressive game last night by Duke. And they were really impressive. It's hard. Those teams are tough. I mean,
they
sometimes, yeah, but I actually would. I'll tell you though, I with some of the emotional stuff that's went on there, I do know Draymond is quite connected still to the program. I could have seen the thought on it. You know, it could have helped them maybe initially, but Duke's Duke. I mean, Duke is just a different animal. So, yeah, that's an impressive win for Duke. Michigan State's got some concerns. I mean, that was kind of really
an eye opener.
An eye opener, yeah, sure. I'll tell you another team to keep your fucking eyes on. Nobody's going to tell you about it. They're going to talk about Maryland and Ohio State and Michigan State. Indiana. Keep your eye on Indiana. They're undefeated. They had a big 80-64 win last night against Florida State. That was an eye-opener for me. Indiana, don't sleep on the Hoosiers. This could be Archie Miller's best team. In fact, I think it is. We really haven't heard from them since Tom Crean left, but that was a good win last night for that group.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. You all enjoy your day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for enjoying the show. And thank you for the support. Donnie, do you have any final words for tonight?
No, I'm just, sitting back. It's a large basketball card today, and there are some good basketball games. And I told Jeff yesterday, I do like the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I think it's a pretty cool event. Some of these games are tougher. Those games will start to settle down. And when does the malaise start, Jeff? When's that dead area for college basketball coming up? We're not that far away, are we?
Christmas, yeah. Well, real quick before we go, did you see that Dayton game last night?
I did not. No.
Horrible beat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dayton was 31-point favorites, Donnie. They're up 3, or they're up 3 above the spread. They're up 34 with like 2 seconds to go.
Yeah.
The total was in play as well. It was right on the total. It was actually an under game until Houston Baptist hit a 3 as time expired from half court to send the game over and push the number.
Man.
Ugly beat.
Dude, come on, guys. Just walk it up the court and end the game. Jeez.
I told all of you, though. That's a spot where I would have taken Houston Baptist, and I would have taken Dayton team total over 98. They scored 99, Donnie.
Ooh.
St. Mary's on deck. That's a fun game. St. Mary's, that's a good basketball team, people. Jordan Ford, they don't talk about Jordan Ford enough. That kid is a baller, man. He's a baller. And that St. Mary's pace, Donnie, could bother a really good Dayton offense. We'll talk about that over the weekend, though. We're out of here. You enjoy your night. Have a good day. We'll see you all tomorrow here on the right side of campus, the Thursday edition. We'll start looking at the college football championship games and more. Have a great day. Bye-bye.